Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to show a modified deck that I've done with the Tarot Familiars. Now this came out in 2017, put out by Fournier and Lisa Parker. So that gives you a little hint of some of the cards. It is pretty as a deck. It is kind of pippish though, I have to say that. This is what the cards basically came as size-wise, and I used my corner rounder and took that down a little bit because I knew I didn't want all the wording around the card. You have this issue here with the logo at the back. There's no way of getting around that. So you are going to know which one is reversed and which one is upright. Now here is one of my cut down ones. So I still have the defining word there at the bottom for the ace, but you will notice a little bit of silver lettering that I've put on as little hints, ideas. When I was learning the deck, I just found one of those pens from Winners quite beneficial. And this is going to give you a little hint of what the cards look like. Now, in this, you're going to find that swords, for instance, show a lot of ravens. Coins are going to be showing wolves. You can see the pentacles there, but you do get the pip cards in the minors. And then when you get into wands, you're going to start seeing some cats. They are slippery cards. And for instance, here's another one here that I wrote on, the King of Swords. So upright, it was all about justice and rewards. But if I got it upside down, there might be some selfishness or conflict with another person going on. So they are quite pretty. So wands are cats, cups are owls, swords are ravens, and coins are the wolves. They are, as I say, quite pretty together. Lots of silver. And if you don't mind reading the pips and learning the pips, it's quite a cute little deck. But what I wanted to get onto was in her little booklet, which is really, really hard to read because the type is so darn small, and that's magnifying it a bit there, is her version of the Celtic Cross. And I'm going to do my best to show you and a little bit of a walkthrough here, doing the Celtic Cross according to the little booklet's instructions, because many witches have their own variation of the Celtic Cross. And that cute little hair. So I'm going to move these away, pause the camera, and make more room for the Celtic Cross. Okay, first off, she suggests using these two cards for significators. Now the Magician would be the male and the High Priestess would be the female. And that's a little bit closer for you to see that. So if you like to use a significator and you have your own choices, go ahead, but this is what she's suggesting in her little spread. So we'll zoom back out again. Now, she says, after you've placed your significator down, the card number 1 coming out is going to define you. This covers you. This is card number 2. And she wants you to be saying those words as you're going through and reading for someone. This one crosses you. That's number 3. What lies beneath you is 4. You might want to choose a cloth that shows it up well both ways. When I flip these, you're going to see the cards looking quite well, but this way, not so much. So number 5, this is what's behind you. 6, the card that crowns you. 7 is what's ahead of you. And 8 is going to be, as you can see down here, starting the arm of the cross. So you've got 8 being what you fear, 9 family and friends around that might be influencing you, 10, hopes and fears, and 11 would be the results or the outcome. So you can see if you're in a coffee shop, you need a little bit of room to do a Celtic cross. And then she suggests, after you've laid them all out and put that information out for the people, that you start turning it over. And I don't know why you couldn't maybe put your significator up in the top corner, something like that, just so that you don't get confused in here. So you're going to be going to card number 1 as defining you. The Tower, you might be all about change, and I would combine it with this number 2 card here. And number 2 is the one of the atmosphere surrounding you. So you might have big ideas because you're a big dreamer. You spend a lot of time thinking things through and imagining them. But you do deal with a little bit of fear. So that's kind of nice. This card crosses you. Now that is the Empress. Maybe you struggle a little bit with nurturing your ideas and bringing them forward. And what lies beneath you is the Devil card. So this could be the need for control. And I'd love to have the camera a little bit higher and facing down, but then it switches directions on me. So bear with me here. I'll just zoom in again a little bit there so you can see what we talked about. And back out again. So number 5, what's behind you, your 8 of Pentacles, that maybe you've put in a lot of hard work. That's kind of nice because if you're trying to bring something forward, you want to nurture it and you want to get it out there. You don't want to over nurture it though. Sometimes we can love something to death. Okay, and then what crowns you is this one here, your 6 of Wands. And that's a great one to have. If I scooch this down a bit, because isn't it nice to have support of others? And to me, the 6 of Wands is that creative support. So what lies ahead of you? The Star card. How nice is that one? That you're being led, that this is almost part of your destiny. You could go on, and when she says 15 minutes to 30 minutes to do the Celtic cross, that's if you're boogieing, because sometimes you get caught up in here. Okay, so 8, this is what you fear. Oh, maybe with this one, you have ideas, but it's the risk-taking. Ooh, very nice. Okay, got to get past that. And this one would be what family or friends surround you at this time. The 9 of Wands. That can be a little bit heavy. And as my little cheat sheet note says, you might expect some trouble from people around you. And it doesn't have to be necessarily family. It could be people that you're working with at work. And then 10, your hopes and fears. Well, that is the King of Cups. You're generally an artistic and creative person, but you're sometimes there so much for other people. Okay, and this one here is the result. The World. Well, when you get the World card, you certainly are doing some transformative types of work. You're accomplishing a lot and you're moving into a next phase. Isn't that a pretty card? So that's similar to how she would lay it out. Now, if you don't have a lot of room at a coffee shop, I would suggest pulling these ones down. You can still read it in the same manner, but this gives you another sentence right here. You can read this, you can read this, but now she says you take them apart and you put them in a line, and then we start doing comparisons. But you could actually just be doing your comparisons this way once you get the hang of it. But I'm going to pause here and put them in the line. So this is what she means when you take your Celtic cross apart and then you put it in this row. Okay, so then she says she wants you to compare number 1 with number 11. And you're looking at you and the results. Then you're looking at 2 and 10. And remember, this card covered you, so this was the atmosphere around the situation. And then you have your hopes over here. Then you want to go to 3 and 9. And 4 and 8, and all the way through that way. So after 4 and 8, she wanted you to compare 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with number 7. Now this number 6 card, she says the center card rules and dominates and is the big influencer. And that is your 6 of Wands. So whatever you were working on, if you got this card as the defining, influencing force, great for you, the 6 of Wands. As I say, it's good news, it's luck, and it's generally support from other people around you. So that's kind of a neat little thing when you get your little booklets that you can follow along and, practice. But once you had these cards in your mind as to which ones you're going to compare, as I say, you wouldn't have to take it apart. You could just compare in that Celtic cross that you had laid out. And choose your own significator, but there is an indication. So I hope you had fun with that. And if you have any little cards like this that you can lay out for the Celtic cross, and have some fun with it and try and experiment with what she was suggesting here. It just takes it to another layer, and it's a lot of fun. So have a super day, everyone, and we'll catch you back here again.